Well, hello, beautiful people. We have Mr. Thomas Markle Jr. here. Don't forget to subscribe to his channel. It's free. Also, I want to thank all of you, Elaine from London. Thank you very much for watching. All of you who are coming from all over the world, Sweden, everything. So we have Tom here with us. So thank you very much we already have a bunch of people here, Tom. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So Tom, yesterday was a very interesting live.
Yes, it was very interesting.
But we have Pidina here also coming in. I thought that
Hey, Patricia.
Hey, Tom.
I thought that we would how do you say yeah, I thought that we would talk a little bit more about what happened after our live. I don't know if I told you this, Pat. I don't think so.
No,
Please
what happened?
What happened after the live?
Yeah, it was really, I got another big long text from Carl.
Oh.
I was really shocked because what it said in there, he was trying to undermine what Armando had clarified for everybody. He put in the text that his intentions, I should have sent it to you so you could put it up there. Dang it.
But you can read it.
Yeah, well, it's on my phone and I'm really not tech savvy, so I'd probably lose everybody if I did that. So what it said basically in a nutshell was he was trying to get in to Dad's house, have Armando go into Dad's house and retrieve a piece of paper that my dad doesn't even know that he wrote, saying, "I'm having a stroke." So the first thing I read when that, I just couldn't even believe what a piece of shit. And you call yourself a friend. You're going to go in and get that and try and sell it for money is all he was going to do. And that really blew me away. I was just like blown away that he even had the balls or the audacity to send me that and trying to say that he goes, "Oh, I'm glad that we cleared that up. I know why you didn't like me now. Like you haven't liked me for the last year." It's like, dude, I haven't liked you since 2018 when I was going to beat your ass in front of my house. And that's the God's honest truth,
Wow.
So
thanks. First, I want to thank everyone that said hello and about my book. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
What do you think about that, Pat? With receiving, because from what I understood, please correct me if I'm wrong, Tom. He thinks that you didn't like him because you thought he was at the house while your father was having a heart attack. But he wasn't doing that. No. That's not what he was doing. He contacted Armando, told him to go into your father's home, grab the stuff that he needed to grab, and he'd be by there to pick it up soon. So that's much less.
Right.
Oh, but that's okay. Sure. My God.
Oh my goodness. What?
Really? I mean, I've seen people on PCP before. And this is falling, it's like out to lunch, nobody's home, change the batteries, get another lobotomy, do something.
Unbelievable. I really feel, because we've seen the evidence where he's taking pictures of Megan at the country club where they were getting a polo club, right? Where they were doing some awards, like the photos were from him. And to get in there and to even be able to publish those photos without her suing you, she would have to be in agreement with him about taking those photos. So the fact that it looks like he's even in the same camp as Megan, and now doing this with your father, it just shows that, in my opinion, it looks like Megan is behind it or trying to get information or to do things that are shady without looking like it's her doing it. And he's like the runt doing it, and he's looking like a fool.
Yeah, when you take a step back and you start putting all the pieces together, I mean, you come up with the most logical explanation of a reasonable doubt. And this is what it falls into, the category of they're all definitely playing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly what the reasons are for. I know Carl's is probably greed. Megan's probably paying him as well. Megan may be doing all this to stress my father out some more. You know, I mean, that's what it's really looking like.
It's just terrible that your father has gone through so much. And now there are stories that are coming out about the devastation that she's caused the royals. Do you think that information is coming from her agent to try to clean up her reputation? I don't know if you've seen it, but there's like this big shift in narrative about, well, I'm sorry for what I did to the royal family. Well, my goodness, woman, what about what you did to your own blood, your own father?
Absolutely.
I mean, it just seems so hypocritical that you would even try to polish up your image in respect to the royal family, but oversight of your own blood father who's done so much for you is really reprehensible to me. And I think that's why us having these channels and speaking about it has to be information that we get out there to as many people as we can, because otherwise people will fall for this false narrative that she's trying to push and to get her highlight out there in a way that's very not real. It's a true fairy tale, and it's not a fairy tale. What she is doing is horrific. It's wrong. There's deception at every level. And it's almost, you can't even believe it that she would even behave this way towards her own family and blood.
At some level that's got to be extremely stressful. I mean, because you can definitely see, man, she's aging twice as fast as she should be. I mean, that stress is just eating her up inside.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean? I mean, in that picture she posted, she looks at least 20.
She, in another couple of years, she's going to be the spitting mirror image of Doria, her mom.
Yeah, she's going to show, because, and there was another article that came out just about that, the stress and the high profile of her brand or whatever is too much. That's why she had that stress patch. Like, it's starting to come out in the news, and I'm almost wondering, is it her trying to push the narrative for people to feel sorry for her or what? Have you seen it, Paula?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have. I mean, what do you make of it? I mean, really, what do you make of it?
I think her agencies, wow, lady, a lot of people don't like you. Wow, really
I came prepared. Okay. I'm prepared. No stress here.
Oh my goodness.
Everything's fine. Wait.
Oh my goodness. Yes. It's like
I'm good.
You gotta send me one of those. I mean, did you make that? I need one of those. I need a stress patch. But yeah, it's like they're starting to see the level of backlash that this woman has. It would be enough stress to push anybody over the edge. And that's because of her behavior. Let's keep it real, right? So articles are coming out, I think, trying to make us feel sorry for her, to have sympathy for her, to feel like, okay, we should be so harsh on her. No, you're going to get the backlash you're getting because you're not willing to make right by anything. You're not willing to even apologize, reach out to your father. Like, she can't do the right thing. She'll never do the right thing, but she'll push a narrative that woe is me. And we're not falling for it. So you can put on as many patches as you want. You can patch your whole face up as far as we're concerned, like what you did, Tom, because ain't nobody falling for the stress and the okie doke from this woman. Okay.
It's kind of like what I was saying yesterday, the poor me card. Poor me, right?
Yeah.
Well, was she always like that, Tom, when she was growing up, though, that you can remember? Or was she?
I remember when she was a sweet kid growing up, but it was slowly changing into entitlement and spoiled. And I mean, I saw that especially, when she, was in junior high and went into Immaculate Heart. I mean, it was, what Megan stomped her feet about, Megan got.
Yeah.
But what I was saying before was walking around claiming to be this person that you're absolutely the complete opposite of.
Yeah.
Like I said yesterday, have I gotten one phone call? I'm down here every day religiously making sure Dad's good. And that's obviously my job now. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Not one phone call. Hey, is there anything that, you need that would make your life easier, or, I help out in any way? Nothing. Not even Samantha. Not even a call to dad. It's just strange. And then that video that you put on yesterday about where she did that speech, there should be more men like my father.
Oh yeah.
So those little blue patches are probably really homing beacons for the mothership that you wear. Because who is this person?
Right.
Look, Tom, your dad from Lori McMurtry. Is that how you pronounce it, Pat? Can you read it?
McMurtry. Yeah, it looks like McMurtry.
Thomas, tell your pops I said he's a hottie, swooning from a single 61-year-old Mississippi woman. There you go.
Ooh, Dad's getting a little action.
Yeah, but now, Thomas, I wanted to ask you. So, like, when you were growing up, and Megan talks about, what she said in the Netflix documentary. I don't even know your middle name. I don't even know your birthday. Like, I'm sure when you were visiting your father, there would be times when Megan would be there. Just talk about the times when she was there, and you may have come or visited or talked on the phone with her, or like that wasn't something that she's trying to portray, like she doesn't even know who you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and we see the photos of when she was even in middle school that you guys were in the same photos. So, like, how does that make you feel when you hear her say that?
Well, it's very confusing, first of all. I mean, nothing really you have to be like a Carl Larson to really get under my skin, but nothing really gets to me. I try and brush it off until it becomes such a pain in the ass. But it's weird because birthdays, holidays, I mean, even though I lived in the Valley, they moved to Hollywood. Vonnie was out there with them as well. We all still got together, even at Doria's house, and Doria's family's big. And we had some of the most amazing Thanksgivings that I've ever had. I mean, 30 people, and really, my mugshot?
No, I was trying to get to that.
That's right, folks. I'm a criminal. That's right.
Well, and that's the thing, Kate had a brother that had run-ins with the law as well.
Oh yeah, the uncle, not a problem.
I mean, look how she handled her brother with such grace and empathy and just so loving towards her brother. People go through rough patches. I don't understand why this woman has to act like she doesn't even know who you are. Yeah. I would just be looking at her with a big question mark on my head and slapping some sense to her head like, woman, what you talking about? You don't know us, and you have these memories. And I think more people want to hear about these memories. So tell us some more memories.
Yeah, no, I mean, outings at the duck park every weekend religiously for 2 years straight with my father and her, visiting my grandmother when she was, dementia. And then we'd go out to eat, even at the world famous Two Nickels Sizzler. We went there quite a few times. So, like I said, birthdays and holidays. I mean, Dad would actually bring her out to my house, even when my kids were little, and just make the trip out to see me for birthdays and whatever and whatnot. So.
Right. It's odd. Yeah, that she would say these things. Yeah.
No, but it's incredible because I didn't quite catch this thing that you did try to reach out to the royal family asking for guidance. I just want to ask you something because it's been a lot of people have asked me about this. I mean, how suddenly did your world change when it was announced that Meghan Markle was dating Prince? People ask me this all the time. And how suddenly was it? Really suddenly, you suddenly were having people calling you and everything.
This is how sudden it was. Okay. My phone rang once. My cell phone. I think we were out. I forget where we were. It was in Grants Pass, Oregon. My phone rang, and it was a number I've never seen before with a strange prefix. I'm like, who the hell is this? Then I answer it, and it's somebody with an English accent. I'm like, okay. Oh, really? Oh, interesting. Oh, that's great. Wonderful. And of course they want an instant story on the phone, but then everybody just started flocking one after another, setting up interviews and, oh, here, we'll give you $5,000. We'll give you $2,000, tell us about this. So all of a sudden the family that she didn't have, people were seeking out and your life goes from being private to in the spotlight, which is with no guidance on how to deal with press and those situations,
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you, it is not easy, because
Right.
whatever you say gets translated 10 different ways in 20 different outlets. One article gets, and they sit there and they piece it together, and you say things you never even knew you said.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
horrible. And that's where I got frustrated, because everything's upside down. I'm being chased around town, followed wherever I go, my picture taken wherever I go, and it got really annoying. So that's where I talked to somebody who actually got a hold of the palace, and their spokesperson at that time, her name was Naomi Smith, and the correspondence that we got back was, I'm distant family and she doesn't know those people.
You know what? And this is the thing.
If you want to publish that, I will be more than happy to publish that, because I am very surprised that the royal family allowed that to go out like that, because, they made a point after Prince Philip couldn't invite his sisters because they were married to Nazis and stuff like that, that whole family was to be invited. And and she's trying to make it look like it was the royal family who didn't want to have your stuff like that. So for that lady to have written to you that way was under her instructions, because she's the one feeding the information in my
exactly.
I'm just gonna put something to bed here. I know many of you are asking where Doria was for all those years and why won't Thomas speak about it. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Doria was briefly married to his father. They were living their own lives at that point in time. I would be one who I wouldn't care what my father's ex-wife, who I briefly knew, is doing for whatever she's doing with her life. Unless you know, Tom, where she was for when she left Meghan with your father after 9. But thank you, Meghan Small. Because they keep asking, how can you not know where Doria was?
At this point, I'm going to say the mothership.
There, that's your answer. She was in the mothership. Thank you, Meghan Small.
Yeah.
She wasn't. Meghan Small, I want to hear from Tom. Did you know where Doria was? Just put those things to bed.
That's a question for my father. So like I said, the family, whether I'm in the Valley or Thousand Oaks or whatever, running my own business, I've got my own life. So at that point, I was just concentrated on making money, and I had a glass business at that time. So
yeah, because it's so funny. Meghan Small saying, "Where did Doria disappear for 10 years?" Can Thomas not if it was cell block 6?
Yeah.
That's funny.
What was it? Orange is the
That
New
was
Black?
Funny. Or was it cell block 7?
He was on that show, Orange is the New Black?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't even seen it, though. I got to tell you, I'm not very, very... It was funny though. But so your world basically changed. And then how did you feel when you got that email? I would have been pissed.
I would have been wanting to go wring her neck, saying, I'm distant relative. What's she talking? What?
Very shortly after that, I go, okay, well, 2 can play at that game. So I sat down and wrote that letter and called the National Enquirer.
Yep.
There you go. But you know what? That letter, I have featured your letter many times, and I said, what? Does this man know how to read? Did he really know Meghan, or did he really know Meghan? Because everything in that letter, how divisive she was, everything you said, I featured it many times, and I always use it as an example that, what? You actually called it. And
everything.
People vilify you because you called it, and they want you to apologize because you called it.
Well, I did sincerely apologize from the heart on Big Brother. That was no joke when I was on Big Brother.
Really?
And when I wrote that other letter, that was because, Big Brother was just an amazing experience. Never before in my life did I think that it would change me and really open up my eyes to a lot. And it really it clarifies a lot when you get thrown into a house with 12 strangers and all sleep in the same room, no cell phones, no TV, no communication to the outside world. You really, really find yourself, and you find out things about yourself you never even knew.
So what are some of the great big ahas for you being on that show? Like, what did you learn, or how did it change you?
Well, it's It's just really hard. It's hard to explain. You actually have to experience yourself, but it just gave me a chance to, like, when I was on that, when I first, like, the first day was just horrible. Everybody didn't like me because they looked at me like I'm that, that asshole who writes bad things about her sister.
Her PR marketing had painted that image of you, right?
Yeah, and that's all anybody knew of me. But as time went on and I got to know people, I mean, I was probably going to be the first one evicted no matter what. But 2-3 days into it, talking to people and getting to know them, and they really got to know me, started breaking the ice, and it turned out to be a good thing. But you talk
but
about,
how were they rough? I mean, were they mean to you? They not want to talk to you? That's incredible what PR does. And this is the point that I always make with people, that they make everybody, even strangers, they turn against you based on what's out there. Without knowing you, they don't even give you the benefit of the doubt to begin with. You're just treated poorly. And then
I'm sorry, really quickly, I want to correct something. It was Kate's uncle. Sorry, not her brother. It was her uncle. Thanks for clearing that up. Okay, I missed.
Jazz, thanks for the super chat. And he says, we're rooting for you, Thomas. Spread the truth.
All right.
No, but this is what I'm talking, what you guys have been dealing with, because actually that's a very good example that you went to the ends of the earth, which is Australia. I'd actually love to go to Australia. I'm sure it's beautiful.
The only bad part about it was right in the middle of COVID. So I got the actual last flight into Sydney that they were allowing into the country.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And there was 4 people on the plane.
Wow.
So you went to Australia, you didn't know anybody. This is a brand new experience, and you go to a home full of strangers and they're all hostile towards you.
Yeah. Well, because the first 14 days we're in a hotel, quarantine hotel, and that was rough psychologically. Boy, you have to be really prepared for that. So I made sure that I had a room with a window that opened. So they gave me one with a balcony. I could go outside. And without my lifeline to the outside, because they every day they deliver you like the government appointed little lunch bag. And you got your raw nutrition, and it was pretty decent food, but I had a runner who would bring me everything that I wanted, and so I got to sample all the beers of Australia, 1 6-pack at a time. But that was rough. And then, so going from there, I went and I had two days alone at a really nice hotel downtown called the QT. And 2 or 3 days there, I think, to unwind before we went into the house for 30 days. So, but the sad part about it, everything was closed. Everything shut down because of COVID. And then it progressively got worse. We got little updates from some of the guys on the show about what was going on and how the numbers were just going through the roof. So I was planning on staying there for at least 2 or 3 months after the show and go cruise around and see things. But it got to the point where everything was closed and I would have had to quarantine if I even left Sydney city limits. Just called it in and just went home. So it's too bad, but I would love to go back there and see the country.
Yeah. Did anyone there know your sister or ever work with her?
No, they knew of her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Through the press, what was out in the press, and they knew of you through what was out in the press.
Right. So you never heard anything from her camp about you going on the show or anything, or?
There was like, people. She actually probably was behind putting out some articles like, "What the hell is this guy doing?" And he has no business going on there, riding on Megan's coattails. All this shit came out. But
yeah,
and they even cornered me on the show a couple of times. I did a couple spots with what was some radio show came on, and it just seems like everybody was siding with all the bad press, and they were having a hard time getting rid of it. So that's why I wrote the letter on the show, and I said, forgive and forget. Let's start over. Here's the olive branch. Let's go.
Right.
Life is too short for this crap.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Okay. And so she couldn't even find a way to forgive or to say, okay, this is my brother, William, whatever. I mean, you heard nothing.
Nothing.
But you know what you forget, guys, is that Meghan Markle has very clearly, even Harry said it in his book, that Meghan lost her father.
Yeah.
So in their minds, and you don't exist, you're distant family, Samantha, and you are nothing. And if basically Harry's comparing the loss of his mother to Meghan losing her father, which means that in her mind, he is dead. He's no longer around. I don't even think she shows her kids pictures of your father, to be honest.
That's, you know, you brought up a good point there, but you know, good news, Megan, I found Dad. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah,
He's
right.
not
He's not lost, right? Nothing. He's still around. And it's just so, it just burns me that she tries to be a humanitarian to help people she doesn't know, people who have whatever issues, and she's always preaching love on this website, Archwell Foundation, and doing good in the world and showing kindness and love, but she can't even show it to her own father or siblings.
And without Dad,
outrageous.
Without Dad, she'd probably be regional manager at McDonald's.
Serious.
A regional manager? You're being too generous.
Maybe.
She'll be flipping burgers. You know?
Yeah, maybe regional. Yeah, she's in charge of all the French fries. That's her big job. Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
How did you turn these people around inside that and the Big Brother? How did you get them to come around to you? Because
I'm just honest and open. You know, I don't. You know, I like everybody. You know, my first night there was really funny because Dane Beams, he's like he's a rugby guy or a AFL guy, and I actually bought snore strips with me to the show because I can snore really, really loud and wake up neighbors. But so
you should know that about yourself.
Dane is a very intimidating guy, right? I mean, just looking at him, you know, he's just all business. And he's got tattoos all the way up to his chin, all the way around his neck, and you know, stocky guy, right? So I'm like sleeping in the bed across from him, and for some reason, you know, I mean, I fell out quick. I fell asleep. I fell asleep so fast, and then I woke up for some reason, and like there's like another pillow on my bed, and all these other pillows in the corner that weren't there before. So he was sitting there, and I woke up and I look, and he's sitting on his bed staring at me like he's gonna come decapitate me.
Wow.
It was pretty wild, but
it is actually quite. But the interesting part of it all that I find that you and your family, which people still don't understand, is that you can live with somebody, because people ask you a lot of questions about Meghan Markle. Like, do you know how she's doing with the children? Why does she hate animals? Was she kind to animals growing up? Was she nice around children when she was growing up? I mean, and I find that from what I understand, she was with Trevor Engelson from 2004 until the divorce became final in 2014. That's 10 years. And through her Instagram, this is her own Instagram account, she went to Hong Kong, Miami, Croatia. I mean, while she was with this man. Yeah. And I think he was aware of that. I think that people don't understand that you can live with somebody and you know nothing about another life that they may have. Because clearly, you know, she was not poor. She was living with Trevor. She was married to Trevor. I've heard some other YouTubers saying that Meghan Markle didn't need to yacht or do caddy or anything like that because she was such a successful actress. Then she didn't need to do that hamburger ad because she was in Suits. Why would she do that if she was a successful actress? You know, now they're portraying her as this multimillionaire. She did a lot of stuff that, you know, because I know she got a stable acting gig, but it wasn't like she was an A-lister making the millions, you know.
She's labeled now as a multimillionaire because of Harry and Harry's money, and that's it. You know, I mean, I don't know. I think she got to the level. She was like, I remember when she went, it was like 15,000 an episode when she first started Suits, and then I think it went to 50 eventually. So she was, you know, she was making really good money on that show, and she, you know, and Trevor is a successful producer in Hollywood anyway. I mean, I think his company is Twisted Pictures, where they did all the film.
Let me see, I'll find out for you.
Yeah, Twisted Pictures, and I think he's got a different one now too. But he's really, really successful. But what she did to him was just bizarre because
What happened there?
This man flew out to I mean, every weekend to meet with her and to be with her when she was in Toronto. And for, you know, I think it's, I don't know if it's factual or not, but from what I understand, she was having affairs on him with some famous cook.
Curry Vitello.
Corey, yeah.
Yeah, while she was with Trevor, and then all of a sudden Trevor gets the ring back in the mail.
Yeah.
But did he know he was having issues with her, or was it out of the blue?
No idea. It's like the wedding, you know. Dad floated a lot of money for that wedding in Jamaica for them.
Wow, that's the thing. He paid for the wedding or put up a lot of money.
Also,
wow.
And Doria went, but we didn't get invited because I don't know. It was just Megan, and you know, Dad paid for her friends to be there too.
Samantha said she was invited, but she didn't go because of she was in a wheelchair. Ashley was there, and apparently Megan told Ashley how lucky she was to have a mother like Samantha who put her first, because you know. And now we're getting this thing with Ashley. What do you make of this Ashley thing? Why is she so nasty?
Yeah, I think I heard Vonnie and I talked about it a little bit, where I believe Megan was getting Ashley to turn against her. That's, I mean, I really didn't hear that much about it, so I couldn't really tell you. But
I'm trying to look for his for Trevor's
IMDb.
No, it's here. I'm trying to look at what he does. I mean, he's done quite a few movies actually, but I can't find his company. I don't know what the company is. Began a later movie management. Underground. It's called Underground. The company called Underground.
Underground and Twisted Pictures. That goes years ago, but it was like 2010, I believe. 2010.
2001, he founded it.
Yeah.
And there's the Sue Potter says, hi, Paula and Pidina. Lovely to meet you, Thomas, on Paula's channel. Hope your dad and sister are keeping healthy. Do you ever think Megan will hit bottom like an alcoholic and get honest?
Well, I would buy tickets to that show.
Yes.
Definitely, yes.
What do you think? Do you think she's gone too far with her lies? And you know what? I gotta tell you, I know I may be wrong, but I really think she is allied with Carl Larson. Because
I do.
I really do, because he sold himself yesterday when he gave us that super chat where he said that somebody from Meghan's camp had reached out to him. We know that Meghan Markle doesn't even let a fart out of her butt without approval. So if somebody
she calls the press to take a picture when she does that.
So for him to say that, and then he tried to recant it. Remember, he said, "Oh no, actually, nobody. I didn't say Megan was contacting me." So I'm just gonna, for people who don't know that, I'm gonna refresh their memories here with this thing. This is a text message that Carl Larson was sending, which is, I got Megan to come down to see your dad on May 27th. She's going to call you. By him saying that he got Megan to come down and see your dad, that means direct communication with Megan.
Yeah.
You know, if this is not the case, I am sure Megan will sue his ass.
Did you get the one? Did you get the one of a screenshot of a phone with the other when this tour thing started with Carl? Carl, you know, my dad, it pissed my dad off, and he immediately started this whole thing. But Carl had told my dad that he was so close to getting Megan to talk to him. This is like the text that he got the other day.
That's the one we had up.
Yeah,
that's the one that I got. That's the one that I had up.
No,
not the one with the tour. No,
but
let me see which one it is, because I got the ones that
I remember seeing that one though yesterday. Didn't you, Paula, put that one up yesterday?
I'm trying to look because I didn't get that one. It says, let me see. I got the ones that
I'm so close to getting Megan to talk to you.
The ones that you sent me is about him doing the tour. I'm going to do the tour, not Harry and Meghan. I want to stop and see you. Yeah, he told me already. And then you tell him to go F himself. What? And then he asks you, why are you mad at me?
Why are you mad at me?
And then you're yelling at him, telling him a bunch of things.
I'm pretty sure
I got. I didn't get the other one. I got the email, but I didn't get that one.
How could I? Yeah, I don't have WhatsApp on my.
Yeah, no, but I got this thing here. The one that I posted said Megan wants to at least know the room number to send flowers. Can you
Yeah,
please
that's
tell me?
That's
what.
the one I thought you were talking about,
No,
right?
no, I'm talking about the one that you sent also 4 days ago, or when all this started. I'm so close to getting Megan to talk to you. You
Oh no,
know.
you didn't send me that one. You didn't
Okay.
send me that one. But
Mm.
but it's funny because that's the carrot that this
Yeah.
guy has been dangling before your father. And people ask, why is your father still talking to him? Because I guess your father's clinging to the theory that because for me, even for me, not being an outsider, even I know that there's some form of communication between Carl and Megan. So it's not
Yeah.
unreasonable for your father to assume so and hope that he will actually get him in contact with her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well.
Yes, hope.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. So.
No, but no, people are asking, why is your father still talking to him? Because
He's not. He completely shut him out.
I know, I understand, but for people to understand where this is coming from, because this is a man who claims that even all of us here, we can all agree that there is some form of communication. So it's not unreasonable for your father to assume, hey, maybe he can help me get in touch with my daughter and figure out what's going on, because I can understand this being absolutely insane for him.
Can you guys let me know if you guys ever go into the hospital so I can go break in your house?
Of course.
Yeah.
To help myself to whatever I want because I'm your best friend.
Yeah. That's just
unbelievable.
So absurd.
Well,
Paula, I'm sorry, I have to go. I only have 30 minutes.
No, that's fine.
So
We're not going to go a long live here, but thanks so much for coming, P. Dina. We're going to continue this some other time. But yeah, Thomas, I'll stay with Thomas, but thank you, sweetie.
Okay, thank you. Bye, Tom. See you later.
Bye. See you.
Bye.
So Thomas, so here we go. So you are basically in a world that you can't find I have Thomas. Did Megan have a child before marrying Harry? I don't think you would know this. Would you know that?
I wouldn't know that. That's what I know of.
That what? That's the thing,
But
people
would
go,
surprise
Armando.
Yeah, nothing would surprise me at this point. So she can go from being a relatively normal kid growing up to like, who is this person? And I want to clarify that again. It's just so bizarre. Like, my dad is just dumbfounded at the way this has all turned out and how she's become this person that nobody knows. Nobody knows what happened. How did she become this way?
Did you ever see
money and greed changes people. And like I was saying, she probably became just too stuck up and too privileged when she got her own little trailer on the show where, she gets a PA, a runner, and people wait on her hand and foot. And she thinks she's like the main star. She wasn't the main star even. She was a character.
Yeah, she was a supporting role to the main star, but it's I can imagine, but this must have been a shock to you too, because and this is what people don't understand. People say, why can't you see it? This is a woman who publicly had praised your father her whole life up till 2016. Like, I need more, why the world needs more men than my father, to completely shutting him down. And people don't get the shock, even to you guys, because you might say, okay, well, fine, she calls me a distant relative, but even that must have been a shock. But can you imagine, did you ever think she'd do that to your father?
No, not in a million years. And like I said, that's the big question mark. And another thing I want to bring up real quick is about, the little buzz story about her PR team wanting her to, rekindle and reunite and make amends with dad after 5 years. This is only because of her popularity has taken a nosedive. Everybody is starting to see through all this bullshit to see what this person is made of, which is not very much. Empty, soulless, evil soul. And so just the thought of that turns my stomach, because the reasons would be only for self-greed and only to up her image. And there would be a dollar figure. See, the thing about it that she doesn't understand is her PR team sees a dollar figure in that. If you can get a microphone and camera into dad's house for this reunion, boy, we'll all make a lot of money. And that's what's driving that thought. It doesn't have anything to do with her wanting to do the right thing, honestly and sincerely, which is really sad.
No, it's actually quite, quite well, you should really check to see whether your father has a microphone, because if that guy has been there, if Carl has been into your father's home, I wouldn't be surprised if he had planted like a microphone or something like that. You never know. You should do a real checkup if you have a police buddy, because if he's been to his house, I wouldn't
Yeah.
put it past them just to plant the little microphone, and maybe they would know things. I dismissed that. I thought, I didn't know how my ex-husband was finding stuff about me or the things I was saying, because I was in my room on my own. Sometimes I would talk to myself and I would see them splash out, because I didn't trust anybody. So I would say things in the privacy of my room. And I found out later that he had been with my son. One time he dropped him off here at the house, that he had come into the room, and I didn't know that. And later I had the police come here and they found, hi, Steph, the altar nerd. And then I found that, things were, we found microphones, and I never felt so violated in my life. I mean, I felt violated before, but that took the pickle, So,
Yeah,
but you should really
that's
do a
really good
checkup
point.
on that.
That's absolutely something that I can see Carl doing.
But have you checked?
No, I haven't checked.
You never bothered to check.
Yeah, why? I think Carl was over there like one time or twice maybe. But the 3 shows that they did together were at the hotel across the street.
Yeah, but it doesn't take much to plant a microphone,
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. And
Yeah.
given how weaselly they are, ooh.
Yeah, like a sleazy weasel trying to get into your house while you're in the hospital would plant microphones. And
What do you think? What do you think? There's a new picture now that's come up of Doria with Kris Jenner and the Kardashians. Apparently now they're sucking up, because apparently there is a reality show that's coming, because they're putting it out there. They're joining hands with the reality TV stars,
Yeah.
I mean, you said that Doria was kind to you when you were being bullied in school or something like that, right?
Doria she didn't really have much to do with anything as far as school goes with me. No. I think Doria just put up with it, but Doria, she always had this like smirk on her face. I mean, we had a few outings together at the park with the dog, with Megan when she was a baby. But I don't know, on life and
yeah. Was she motherly?
No, not to me. She was,
but I mean, towards Megan, was she motherly towards Megan?
I was 15 and she was 20. It was like almost like, so it was just, there's like almost like a high school friend.
Wow. How when they got divorced?
She wasn't unpleasant. Let me put it that way.
But she wasn't that involved.
Yeah, no, there was just never really a connection. So.
Oh my God. So she wasn't like okay, so she wasn't much involved in your life or anything like that. She was just a fixture there. She wasn't married to your father very long, was she?
No.
So she probably just him like Megan, yeah. Oh, that's so terrible. I just, and now, what really bothers me? That she is benefiting from your father's hard work of putting his daughter through everything to getting her where she is. And now Megan has turned on him and the entire family that helped her get where she is. And now she's brought Doria back. Why do you think she's brought Doria? Because Doria is willing to go along with the lies? I mean, I really don't know.
I guess, but it's definitely a disturbing pattern, of using people until you don't need them anymore and throwing them away like trash. That's exactly what she's done.
Yeah. But I mean, do you have any feelings at all towards like anything that you think that there's a chance of her changing at all? Or do you think
yeah, I already said that. Like, it wouldn't be sincere. So I don't really even know how to think about that, because I know it wouldn't be sincere. It's been what my dad's been through, 2 heart attacks and a stroke, and all this, made up crap about him and this PR smear campaign about him. it just wouldn't be sincere, you know, and I definitely don't want my dad to go through any more grief or bullshit from her either.
But your dad seems like a very kind-hearted man, Tom. You know, like
Yeah,
I think he would take her back, and he would, you know,
yeah. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Dad definitely would. Dad definitely would. But it would just be a dollar sign for her. That's all she sees that whole situation about is dollar signs.
Do you know what I see happening? Like I can see her, if anything fails, actually reaching out to your father with a camera crew for the reunion, asking her apology, which is, I still don't understand why she says that she wants an apology. I don't get that.
Yeah, she wants an apology. She also wants an apology from the royal family. You know, people in hell want ice water. Good luck with that.
Oh my goodness. So I mean, you know, I can't even think what you've been through. It's you know, it's so weird. I imagine you never thought ever that you find yourself in that situation, having a YouTube, talking to us YouTubers, trying to explain yourself when you don't need to, you know, to strangers because of all this circus that's been invited because of Meghan Markle, your little sister.
Yep.
Did you ever think your life would be like this?
Oh God, no. Not at all.
And your father, especially your father in his retiring years, you know, after he had worked so hard, he probably figured, well, I'm going to relax in Rosarito. And then he has all this mess.
He said, never in a million years did I ever think I'd share my grandchildren with the king.
Oh yeah, you're part of the royal family because Meghan Markle, they said that she's a member of the British royal family, and you are.
Well, so am I.
Yes, you are.
By the way, where's my 50 acres and my sheep? You know, come on.
Oh my God, you know, but this is absolutely insane, you know, like if you think about it, that's for real. Like you are related to the royal British family, British royal family.
And I have a niece and nephew. I have, I'm like, I'm like the Uncle Gary.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like the Uncle Gary to Archie and Lilibet. So.
What do you think of those children? Do you think that she's motherly? She doesn't strike me as the motherly type. You said in your letter that to keep her away from children and pets.
I was probably just saying that just to I don't even know why I said that. Probably just to like throw another jab out there just for the hell of it. But you know what is it with these kids? I mean, the big mystery about these children. Very strange. I mean, there's
hey, Thomas, you have somebody asking if you're married.
Huh?
Somebody here is asking if you are married.
Oh no, I did that once. That was.
So you're available. He's available, girl. So go for him.
Yeah, I also run an out. I do alcohol massage, $49 an hour. No.
Hey, Spangle says, arise, Sir Thomas Markle Jr. I mean, after all, your sister's a duchess, you know, I don't know what that makes you, but you know what? It is so funny, you know, it is so funny.
You know, you think that the royal family at least hire me to be a jester, you know, come on.
I have a question for you. How about the Raglands? Did you know any of them other than Doria?
Yeah.
You did?
I knew her sister. I knew her mom. I knew her Alvin, her brother, and like I said, we had some really good Thanksgivings together and holidays. And boy, you talk about some good cooks. Doria's family, amazing cooks. Those Thanksgivings, just killer, unbelievable.
So just to clarify, you spent Thanksgivings with the Ragland family. So it's not like.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
So,
that's the other family that she doesn't have.
But I wonder why they're so quiet, you know, because I know that one of her uncles died. One of Doria's brothers died. And Meghan Markle, the widow came out and said she didn't even say anything about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She didn't even wish him. And apparently he used to babysit her as well. And I mean, I mean, so you did meet the Ragland. So you guys were actually quite cordial and everything.
Yeah, like we lived in Woodland Hills, and we were actually going to town for Thanksgivings.
As a family, together.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I got to tell you something. People don't understand that selfies and picture culture just started recently. This is not something that we went around in the 80s and 90s with a camera. Yeah. I'll take a picture of me selfie. A lot of our, at least for me, I don't know for you, a lot of our interactions, birthdays, sometimes, you know, you get a picture with a birthday girl, you know, with a cake or something, but it's not like you go around now every day with selfie. No. So people think that why aren't there more pictures of you with her at the park? Because maybe you weren't, you know, we're looking at
maybe because they're in a cardboard box instead of on your screen on your phone. That's why.
No, but you know what I'm trying to say is like you didn't walk around. You didn't. Oh, I'm going to take Meghan Markle, who's 2 years old or 1 year old, and I'm going to go to the park. And I'm going to take, because the cameras were huge back then, and I'm going to take the big camera just in case. It wasn't like that, you know.
You give a young person now a roll of film, and they go, "What the hell is that?" I go, "Well, these are pictures." Yeah.
I know.
$27 to develop them.
No, I know. And you didn't know how they were going to turn out because, you know, it's not like you had a preview or anything like that. Beautifully Me says.
The thing about Dad is Dad's always been into photography. He's had every camera known to man. He's taken probably over 1 million pictures. So, yeah.
I mean, no, I know. But what I mean is that people don't understand. Like, it's back then, it's not like now. Even 10, 20, 15 years ago, I mean, 2008, you didn't see the culture. 2013, I think, started after 2011, 2012, that slowly started with the pictures. I mean, in 2008, we still used the iPod, you know, to listen to music, you know. So, oh my goodness, who's that?
Who do you think it is?
Megan and the greasy pole. You know, the thing with greasy poles is that you go back up, but then you slide back down.
This is the me moon bump pole dancer.
Oh my goodness! Oh, you should actually. It's actually quite funny. But no, it's amazing.
Tiara?
Yeah, you should have a tiara. No, you should have a crown next time you do your videos, because after all, you are related to royalty, Tom.
Yeah, and the other thing that we found out through all this, which was really very cool, was Andrew Morton, when he wrote that book, he came up to my house in Grants Pass, and we spent a few days together. And
oh, you did?
Oh yeah, we went out drinking. We had a great
time. How was
he? Yeah, he's all right. He's a pretty nice guy. But the second night he came over to my house, I opened up the door and he bowed to me, and I go, "What, are you drunk already?" And he goes, "No, you're already royalty, and you don't even know it." Because the extensive genealogy report traces my family direct descendants of Robert the Bruce.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that would explain my Scottish temper.
Oh yeah. Tom, somebody's asking, Beautifully Me is asking how your father is doing.
He's doing really well. Very well.
Right of it all?
Yeah, we went to dinner the day before yesterday. I would tell you where we went to dinner, but I don't want it to turn into a tour.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Sizzler. Yeah. You know, you should do a book, How to Survive a lying narcissistic person. That how to survive Meghan. That would be a good book.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I mean, how do you survive this? I mean, how do you survive this and keep a good sense of humor about it?
Well, I just that's what I do. I just make light of everything I can, because I'd rather be in a good mood laughing, and I'd rather make other people laugh than walk around all grumpy and pissed off. So I'm really good at that too. I mean, it's taken a long time to tame myself as far as I'm concerned, and you really find out a lot about yourself later in life. So, and just, things don't get to you like they used to. But I used to have a pretty hot temper.
You don't say. You don't strike me.
Oh yeah.
Just joking.
Yeah, no, it's like it's still there, but it's just it's only in case of emergency, I just flip the switch and go for it.
Oh my God! You know one of the funny things about this Carl Larson thing that he sent you the text yesterday is that he still doesn't get how easily it was to text Armando to tell him to gather your father's intimate documents and pictures to grab them because he would come and pick them up soon.
Yeah, so disturbing. That's
Yes.
what that my return text to him said exactly that. It's like, and you call yourself a friend? You want to break into my dad's house, have Armando do it. Just, it's mind-boggling. I still trip on that. I think about that 10 times a day now. It's just amazing. And that's why I went up, I printed Carl's blown up face picture, and I posted him at the guard shacks here.
I saw that.
Notified everybody. And if he comes anywhere near me, anywhere near my neighborhood, I'll get a phone call. And
no, that's good. Now,
yeah.
Nancy Copeland says, hey, Tom, did you and Megan ever get along? He already answered that, Nancy. He said that, yeah, they got along up and give my love to your sister and your dad. Your sister means Samantha and your father.
Yeah.
I mean, when did you stop getting along with Megan? That's the question that we should ask, really.
Well, I never stopped getting along with her. She ended up going off to college, and then she went to Toronto for Suits. But, the last time, we were all together was at my grandmother's memorial. So, and like I said, I'm, back to my business and back to working, and everybody goes about their business. And, so she takes off and goes to college on daddy's dime.
Of course.
Yeah.
Do you mean to tell me that when she said in Fiji that it was through her scholarships and hard work and all these things that's how you're doing that?
She's never worked a freaking day in her life. God. Yeah, she didn't put herself through school. That was my dad's back paycheck. I put her through everything. He's got the receipt. He's got the receipts. He paid for the college. He paid for everything. And I'm just here's this woman talking so good about her dad, and then she just flips the switch like he never did anything for me.
And but okay. Who told you that she was dating Harry? Did your father tell you she was dating Harry? Have you ever talked to Harry?
Oh, my dad was, he was back and forth to Mexico and Hollywood at the time. And I was up in Oregon. I was living in Topanga Canyon for quite a bit of time up until 2017. And my kids were up in Oregon for Thomas and Tyler were up there, and my ex-wife was up there, and I just wanted a fresh start from Topanga, and I moved up to Oregon. And the next year, after not even a whole year of being up there, my phone rang with an English accent. That's where it started.
Yeah, but at what point did your father say to you, Megan is dating this prince, or did you find through phone calls?
No, I told you, I heard it from a phone call first. From
this bloke in the United Kingdom. So did you phone your father and say, what the hell is this? What's going on?
Oh yeah, no, after that, the floodgates opened. So then we all knew.
Wow. So you found out through a pap or somebody trying to buy the story from you. So you're like, did you think it was a prank call? I would have.
No, at first I didn't believe it, but then I believed it when all the paparazzi showed up everywhere, stalking me.
Did they find your address then? So they came where you were. First of all, how did they find out your phone number? How did they find out your phone number?
That's what I asked. I go, how did you get my number? And they said, oh, rehab ways. So.
And then everybody came, and you must have believed it then, because if you started to get all these paps and everything, and did you reach out to your father and said, Dad, did your father reach out to the palace and say, can you help us out or anything? Did he receive the same answer?
No, my dad wouldn't do that. He wouldn't reach out. He just, I'm sure he was, he was overjoyed and overjoyed with emotions that it was a big deal, very big deal.
And what did your father say? I mean, so Megan tells him she's marrying a prince. He never met him. They only talked on the phone.
Oh, he said, oh, that's the one that looked like a frog before you kissed him. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, your dad probably had no idea who the hell was Harry.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody did really. I mean, it's I mean, what an unseemly thing. And I assume that they came down on your father's home as well in Rosarito, which is why they took all those nasty pictures of him, trying to portray him. And yet Megan didn't reach out and say that I'm going to send you these people to, because I know that they did that with Doria. It's very well documented that Doria did receive help, that she was, you know, she was basically protected by the palace.
Yeah, they really did a really half-assed job on handling that. The way they'd done it before in the past with everybody in their family, somebody should have came around and talked to us, or, you know, said, don't talk to the press, whatever, you know, here's what you have to do, but nothing. And that was all Megan's fault.
Maureen Eggleston says, I'm furious about the damage Megan has inflicted on her family. I mean,
yeah. And now she wants to reconcile with everybody. It's geez.
Do you think that's true? Do you think that's PR? Because you've been very clear that nobody has reached out to you guys about that, right? So that's all BS.
Yeah.
We just want to make this clear that nobody has reached out to you guys.
Never.
For a reunion or anything, right? That's correct?
Never. I started putting it out there, like, you know, little bits here and there, probably a month ago on my show, about how it would just be ridiculous on her part to try that, because nobody would believe it. And I hope everybody in Hollywood knows that too. It's like, go ahead, make the last few bucks you can on her, but no fake reunions here, and not going to happen. Just, you know, I mean, if Netflix wants to call me up and offer millions of dollars or whatever, sure. Why not?
Of course, go ahead. You know, this one of the funny things is that everybody.
I'll pretend I like it. I'll pretend. Oh, come. Oh, here.
You probably do a better job of acting too.
Yeah. And as soon as the camera's off, now get the fuck out of here.
Somebody asked here, what were you doing in Australia? Tom was in the Big Brother house in Australia.
Yeah, it was Big Brother VIP with Australian stars and Australian football guys. Caitlyn Jenner was there.
Oh, was she there?
Yeah.
What was he? Sorry, what was she like?
Really interesting. Boy, just to sit down and talk to her, like the person that was on my Wheaties box when I was a kid. You know,
but he was an Olympian guy. He wasn't a female sitting right next to you.
The biggest honor you could win when in the Olympics is the decathlon. That's a big deal. So,
what did he say? I'm sorry. What did she say? It's hard for me to call him. What did she say? What did Bruce?
I almost said Bruce a couple of times, but. But, you know, you have to respect everybody for who they are as a person. And that's exactly who she is. She's exactly who she wants to be, and more power to her. Can't knock anybody for being who they want to be.
No, I agree, but it's just difficult for me, you know, because you grew up all the life looking at that manly man, you know, it's like, and then suddenly it's there. Caitlyn,
she's in pretty damn good shape for her age. I mean, most of the challenges on the show are you can't even prepare for them. You have to be in such good shape to win those physical challenges. They are no joke. And what everybody saw was a small little clip of how long those challenges last. Like when we were hanging on those pendulums in the first challenge, you're barefooted on a tiny little step on the side of that pendulum, swinging, and you're clinging on with your bare feet. And the wind's blowing, they're throwing water at you. And that challenge lasted like an hour long. And you only saw an hour, but you only saw 5 minutes or 6 or 7 minutes but we were hanging there for a long ass time. But yeah, she's in really good shape for her age, and, you know, just a nice person.
And what did she say to you? What did she say to you? Did she know who you were and what you were going through?
Yeah, she knew who I was, you know. I don't know. a lot of people like Omarosa. She was always talking shit behind my back too.
Omarosa, wasn't she the one from The Apprentice?
Yeah,
Oh my God, that's the black woman, Omarosa from The
she
Apprentice.
looked at me like, you know,
I didn't know she was there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she looked at me like she wanted to, like, I just did. I looked at her and I said, I'm voting you out as fast as I can.
And how was she? How was she? It's so funny. I didn't like her, The Apprentice. You know, she was so big.
She pretended to like me, but she doesn't. She never did. I mean, after, you know, as time went on, I mean, I think I even talked to her a couple times even after the show, but.
And Kris Jenner, I know Caitlyn Jenner. I mean, what did she say to you? It's hard. Did she give you any tips about fame or how to handle the paps and stuff like that?
No,
nothing. Did she ask you how is it going? You know, like.
Well, you know, everybody had a chance to talk to her, and basically it was like always talking in a group. So we were always around our big table, and it's just interesting. She has a lot to say about who she was as a person when she was in the Olympics, how she even wanted to change when she was in the Olympics. She wanted to make the change, but back then it was a whole different world. So she was basically told everybody on the show that she was thinking about that basically her whole life. And it was just, it was a big challenge for her. So.
My goodness, but it must have been fun for you to meet her. I mean, I don't know about Omarosa. I watched The Apprentice a little bit, and we have somebody here joining us. Guess who's here, guys? Steph, the ultra nerd. Now, Miss, you're gonna give us attitude here because we've been talking about Tom being at the Big Brother in Australia. How nobody liked him when he got there. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Meeting Caitlyn Jenner, you know, and all these wonderful things. What do you have to ask him?
Well,
don't ask me what you're going to ask me. No. No,
just kidding.
Hey up, Tom, by the way. Hey up, Paula. So actually, I have a burning question, and it's not really to do with that, but it's more to do with kind of figuring out the time frame on this. So Carl the Clown, as I like to call him now, with a K, with the clown situation.
Could we formally change it to Chucky the Cable Guy?
Chucky the Cable Guy, there we go. That'll do. Chucky the Cable Guy, as he will now forever be known as. When he spoke to Armando to try and get these documents, which we suspect one of which is the letter, did this all happen after the broadcast of 60 Minutes in Australia?
Which one? There was
no. Your father had a stroke. Your father had a stroke. You were at the hospital.
Yeah.
So what? This is after Australia or before Australia?
See, I came back over 2 years ago from Australia.
Sorry, apologies. What I meant was
the stroke was last May. May.
So you were. So this is after Australia then.
Oh yeah.
This is after the Australia 60-minute interview that you guys did.
No, that was it was before that because we went to we did that last year. Last year we did that.
Oh, the 60-minute Australia interview. So that was he did that.
We went out there in November, I think. November.
But it wasn't broadcast until this year.
Yeah. Like
so that what
I think it was like November or December or somewhere in there.
When your father was better to do because your father got a stroke on May last year, and then when he got better, then you guys went to and did that thing with Australia 60 Minutes, and then it was broadcast this year. Yeah. And then this guy tried to break in. That must have been then in May last year when he tried to break in.
May of last year while we were in the hospital.
Right. Okay. Because. Right, so that blows what I was thinking out of the water, because I thought that maybe he tried to do it after the 60-minute Australian Markle family interview was aired, because in that interview, it was either your father, yourself, or Sam that said that in this particular letter, there's a part that he will never divulge, never release publicly that could actually destroy Megxit. And I was thinking, hang on a minute, if he tried to do it after... was it?
Yeah, no, you're definitely on the right track there, because we've all put the pieces together and figured out that there's no way at all, it's not possible that they're all not working together. And I would not put anything past him at this point as far as trying to get, his hands on things that Megan tells him to go get or whatever. Who knows what's going on? That could be a reality.
And also, Steph, don't forget that Mr. Markle had said before, while the lawsuit was happening, that that the letter was damaging to Megan, that this is why he wasn't releasing it. So it wasn't just a 60-minute. He's always been consistent saying that was not a loving letter. That was a nasty letter. And from the text I showed yesterday, the text message between Jason Knopf and Megan, where she says this letter doesn't leave anything room for conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an F-off letter basically to your father. So, but that's a good thing, because I really do think, what do you think, Steph? I mean, it is so seedy, everything. And that Carl sent him a message after the live yesterday.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, buddy, so I'm glad that we straightened things out. I know now why you were angry with me, because you thought I was trying to break into your home, but no, I actually wanted Armando to break into your home and give me this.
Yeah. Yeah. And he tried to change it up, saying that he was after a piece of paper that my dad wrote, "I'm having a stroke" on. I mean, so this is a man who says he's your best friend and does this while you're in the hospital to get that so he can sell it, make money on it, or whatever else he was after. Armando made it very clear that he was after photographs and some
documents.
Some stuff on that.
Yeah. Because Armando said that he had been there like a month before and he saw your father put things away, father put things away. So he wanted to that is actually very creepy. I don't know about you, Steph. What do you think about? I mean, you've had some interactions with this dude.
So what I think first and foremost is, do I think he is mentally deranged or anything like that? Actually, no. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. I think he is absolutely corpus mentis. I think he's like a politician. Think about it, how politicians answer questions, right? They answer it, but they don't answer it. They'll answer a question with another question, or they'll answer the question inputting aspects into the conversation that have nothing to do with the issue at hand at all. It's exactly what politicians do.
They avoid it with another question.
Correct. Or they avoid it by inserting aspects into the conversation that have nothing to do with the central issue in the first place. And that's exactly, when you analyze his language and what comes out of his gob, it's exactly what he does. He dances around the issue and he tries to take the conversation away from places he does not want it to go. So I don't think that he is like mentally deranged or anything like that. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. I think he answers like a politician for one reason and one reason only. Opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. He is on Megsy's payroll. I think he's a snake. And I think the main kind of aim of trying to get Armando into your father's house was to get that letter.
Yeah.
Megan, from all accounts, is very, very precious about her ego, but also her image and how people see her. And if that letter came out, that whole image of she's the victim and her father and the family are the villains completely evaporates if that letter ever came out with the bit that your father says he would never release because it would eviscerate her. So
there's hundreds of stories out there about how she really is off camera and how she really treats people. I even read a few about how Harry had to go behind her and apologize to people because of her behavior and the way she treats waiting staff, waiters and waitresses at restaurants. Just awful. I mean, I would never deal with anybody like that. I wouldn't have anybody like that in my life at all.
Was Megan that mean when she was growing up, or was she nasty or something like that with people? Or
no, she just she had a little bit of an attitude, like she was just you can see it in some of her videos. Just the older she got, the more of an attitude I think she started to develop about. I mean, who knows what was going through her head? Like I said, I was a teenager. And then later, I mean, I was busy. I was really busy, doing my own thing and running my own businesses. But about Carl, I did have a really good laugh with Samantha this morning. Samantha said, I figured it out.
Yeah.
Carl must be in love with Dad. He must have a really big crush on Dad.
Oh my goodness. I mean,
He's got like a bleeding, fixated heart for my father.
Over here, we would say he's got a boner for your dad.
A boner?
Yeah.
yeah, boner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boner?
No,
Oh,
but
yeah. 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 Okay, Carl. Cat's out of the bag, pal.
Steph, you're saying you're going to California. Will you be doing Carl's tour? Because he
Hell
says that the
no.
tour is up and going.
Hell would freeze over and I would become Meg's #1 fan before
Yeah.
that would happen. No
No, but
way.
the guy's going ahead with the tour. He said that he's going up. It's up and running.
Yeah.
And it's
Good luck.
looking at the people in
Good
that.
luck with that. Good
Good
luck
luck
with
to him
that.
with it. He's going to need
Montecito's
it.
not going to allow it. All you're gonna see is the front gate of her house. That's it. And where
Well, you never know. You never know.
Just so you know, anybody can go to Montecito. Anybody, and go look at Lucky's restaurant. Go look at Trey Loon. They're all right there. Go look at the hamburger place, the coffee place where they go, and then right up the street. God, what is it? What's the name of that place? There's like 2 spots in Montecito to shop, and that's it. So anybody can go see these, and you can, it's just. But for somebody to divulge somebody's personal information without their consent and show them where their house is, you're just opening the door for just a legal nightmare. So
you know that my cousin said that what Carl Larson did, actually asking Armando to go into the house and take personal documentation from somebody else, is actually illegal.
yeah. Well, in Mexico, they handle that a different way. So, you're not going to really see a cop or see a judge. You'll see a
Is
different
that
kind
where
of
you
judge.
are now in
Yeah.
Mexico?
Yeah, I'm like 10 minutes from the border
Oh,
on the
okay.
beach.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
A lot of action there. Stephanie,
You guys
did
wanna-
you have
you guys
any more
wanna see?
interactions? Yeah.
You guys want to see? I'll take.
Yeah, yes, of course.
Cool.
We're going on a field trip, kids. Come on.
By the way, the chicken in the
Exclusive, Tom
background. that
Markle
chicken-
Jr. tour.
No,
There you
we're
go.
We're not going to the bathroom.
This
Come
is
on.
the real tour. Now this is the tour, and this is for free. Oh, that's pretty. That's the.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, unfortunately, my other house that I had was right on the sand on the beach, and I didn't have these damn wires in front of my.
But that's normal in Latin America.
Better. Can you? Oh, sorry, cut out. But,
I can see the ocean.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
got
can see
some
the
nice
ocean.
weather. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
We can see a barbecue grill
lost
there.
connection.
That's for sure.
Are we back? Sorry.
Yeah, we're back. We can see you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can we?
That's actually I assume that how do you find it? I mean, are Pops still coming over to your father's house other than Carl Larson, or have they kept back now?
I lost everything.
What do you mean? He's trying
There
to.
you are.
Hello.
Okay, sorry about that.
No,
Yeah.
here we are.
Can Paula, can you see him? Because I can still see the ocean and he's outside.
Yeah, you're outside. Are you inside, Tom?
No, I'm back inside now.
Okay, Tom, you might have to go out and jump back into StreamYard because it's frozen on you, hon.
Okay.
Go back and we'll wait for you here.
Mm.
Did you guys have you had any more? Have you heard anything back from Carl Larson for you guys? Because this guy is brutal. He doesn't let go. He's like a dog with a bad bone. Did you see Doria with the Kardashians?
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to be doing a video on that tomorrow.
What the hell?
Doria's keeping up with the Kardashian. It's like, what? It's like Meg's PR is now trying to push out Doria. It's hilarious.
Yes,
hilarious.
I wonder if it's
How's
really
that?
you are, or if it's we can see you now, Tom.
Okay.
We're just talking about Doria now hooking up with the Kardashians. That Mexi PR is clearly Meghan is not a very good product to sell. So now they're pushing Doria because you know what? Doria doesn't need Meghan's permission to do this. You know what? In my humble opinion, I think Doria is going rogue on Meghan.
Yeah, who really knows? what else is new? I mean, just latch on while you can. That's kind of the way I look at it.
You know that Keep It Real says, can you please tell Tom Sam should be careful because I think Megan's using Carl to bait Sam into saying doing something to damage her court case.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Like I said, I don't doubt anything. Nothing would surprise me at this point. So.
But what do you think do you think that has he written to you this morning or anything? Do you think he got the message after yesterday, after you replied to him?
Yeah, I looked, he read it. So.
And he didn't keep bothering you. Have there been any more paps trying to reach out to you guys or just Carl?
No, just Carl. Yeah. But he hasn't after I sent him that yesterday, he hasn't sent anything else. But who knows? I mean, what goes on in that guy's head, I don't know.
But it's going to be interesting. You know, I wonder whether you didn't have any more paps approaching you because Megan thought she had you hooked with Carl. Now that you've broken up with Carl, I wonder if other paps are going to start calling you now that that link is broken.
I'm broken up with Carl.
What do you think, Steph? I mean, do you think that's because we were talking with Tom and I said to Tom that I don't think Megan wants. I think that Megan wishes, I don't think she wishes her father dead, but I think she wishes he wouldn't be around because I think that while he's still around, she can't sell what she's trying, you know, her PR because her father is there. And Mr. Markle comes across as a very decent, credible man. You know, I mean, Tom, have you read the letter that Megan sent to your father?
No.
Even Tom hasn't read it. I mean, that's how private he kept it, Steph. Mm-hmm. You know, and I bet you that letter would have never seen the light of day had those skanky 5 friends of Meghan Markle gone to People magazine. Am I right to assume that?
I really don't know much about that letter.
No, but I'm saying your father would have never come out with a letter had it not been for the People's magazine article portraying him as a terrible person.
Yeah, he did that in retaliation. I mean, my dad's done nothing wrong. So to be attacked like that, you know, I'm glad he has that letter, you know, and I'm glad it probably shows, you know, whatever it shows, probably the real Meghan and how she really is. Maybe that's why it's so important to her. I don't know. I can't say. But
what do you think, Steph?
you know, you just hear things from all different sources all the time. And one of the ones that people send me comments all the time and I pick them up because I try to read most of them. Somebody was saying that like Meghan's waiting for my dad to die so she can come publicly and say what a horrible person he was and how he abused her. I mean, talk about playing the me card and the poor me card. I mean, like, give the man a break. First you like him, then you don't like him. First you like him, then you don't like him.
Who abused Meghan? Your father? Is that what they're trying to say?
You hear little people throw comments at you where they hear them from. So I don't know. It's the farthest thing from the truth. My dad dedicated his entire life to her. Every spare minute he had off work was dedicated to Meghan and her happiness. No, I mean, it's obvious. I mean, we have endless videotapes of
her with your father. Yeah. But she also talked about it on the tape. Remember, Steph? All the things that she said. We've done deep dives with that, you know, and all the things. I mean, we played yesterday the UN speech. Oh, the world needed more men like her father. I mean, she didn't say the world didn't need any more women like her mother.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely enough of her in the world. God.
I mean, what do you think, Steph, about all this mess, about all this Carl thing? I mean, you guys were affected a little bit by this. You guys were attacked by this too, because you were involved in this. I mean, that guy dragged you in with Samantha, trying to say that you guys were shut down, that you were intrusive and all kinds of things. I mean, how does that? I mean, are you having any conversation with Chucky?
Chucky? No.
So I'm not having any conversation with Chucky at all. If there's any conversation, it is with Andy and Chucky. As far as Andy has told me, And from what I can see on the DMs, because I have access to all of Andy's DMs and social medias, he's literally, how do I put this? Generally speaking, because we don't comment specifically on DMs unless we have permission, but generally speaking, under no uncertain terms, Andy has told him, fuck off. Don't want anything to do with you. Don't want anything to do with Tom. Bye-bye. Essentially what he said publicly. So I can say that. But yeah, that's pretty much been the tone throughout. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye. No way. Bye-bye. We don't want anything to do with you. And you know, all these lies and these attacks that he's doing on us, like, oh, Andy spoke to Boozy to shut down my tone. I'm like, dude, got access to everything. He's not in contact with Boozy at all. Never has, never will. We don't like the dude. It's just, we're used to it because Andy's been a YouTuber now for over 10 years. Wow. I've been a YouTuber now for about 3-4 years, and we're used to it, encountering people or mobs that don't like us, happens on the internet for all of us, and starts making up shiz and lies to try and discredit us. We're used to it. It's boring because every single moron goes by the same rule book, goes by the same playbook, so we know how to deal with it. So there we go.
Yeah, but I mean, does he answer back? I mean, does he still trying to get into your channel? Because he kept saying that he didn't want to upset you guys because he still had the hopes of getting back on the channel or something like that.
He's still trying to be a weasel.
You know, it's hard to be confronted with something like that. I don't know how you guys deal with that, because this guy, and like you said, he's not in denial. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
he does. He does. And to me, respectfully, for those that are turning around and saying he's mentally disturbed, he needs help, this, that, and the other, respectfully, you're underestimating him saying that. You're underestimating him.
Yeah.
I've analyzing the stream that we did on Popcorn Palace on Friday when he was there with Samantha. No, it's not that he's mentally disturbed. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's saying. The way that he tried to manipulate the conversation, try and manipulate the balance, try to reframe certain people into certain ideologies. No, he knows exactly what he's doing. Do not underestimate him.
Yeah,
it's sort of like the almost like the Trump campaign. Yeah. You know, you ask anything. I mean, he just misdirects and goes into a whole different subject on everything.
Yes.
You know, he answers a question with misdirection into a completely different subject.
Yes.
That's what he does.
Yes. And that's a politician, right? And okay, apart from a couple, all right, of outliers, we wouldn't turn around and say, oh, well, a politician's mentally disturbed. No, we just say it's a fucking politician, right? And that's it. You know, that's what we expect from politicians, unfortunately, but it is what it is. It's exactly who he is.
Well, Megan is very good at word salad. Were you aware, Tom, that she did a Ukraine interview in 2014? Megan, you didn't know that?
No.
Oh, please allow me to show you something, because this is your sister, Megan. She did it when Biden was a VP. He went to Ukraine in 2014 to, you know, I don't know what he was doing there, but he went there, right? And then Meghan Markle in 2014 gave a Skype interview to a Ukraine university there, and she's saying that she's interested in politics, and that she was working with the Clinton campaign. I'm trying to find it because it's really deep, dark on the web, and I can't find it.
I think it's pretty funny how she tried to get a ride on Air Force One.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah, I think I titled my title on that like Air Force. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a funny one, that.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. Meghan Markle Q&A. Here it is. Look. Wait, let me see that. I'm going to show you that.
Italian, because I never learned it. I studied French for 8 years, and then the president. And I think that that would be a really natural venue for me to become really actively involved in politics yet again. So, you know, it's a huge part of my life. It was really my formative years when I turned 21, when I was writing, and it was during the devaluation. So, yeah, I miss it, but what's great about being on the show is that it gives me a bit more of a profile so that now when I talk about things of that nature, more people listen, which is really cool.
If you were working in Argentina, that means that you maybe know some Español, no? Claro. And
Yeah, did you hear that? You didn't know that, huh?
No, I never saw that.
Yeah, she did in 2014 in a Ukraine university, which is really weird because that's when Joe Biden was vice president, and he did 3 trips to Ukraine that year as vice president. And in that video, she claims that she's working for the Hillary Clinton campaign, and Hillary Clinton actually didn't announce. This is in 2014, and Hillary Clinton didn't announce she was running for president until March, I believe, 2015. And Megan was in Toronto. She wasn't, nobody's ever heard of her. I know because one of my dear friends was actually one of the head of the campaigns for Hillary Clinton. She was running it and she never heard of Meghan Markle. So it's very funny there that she's saying that she was working for the Hillary Clinton campaign.
Do you know at the same time? So presumably she's speaking to the university. Do we know when that happened? Obviously in 2014, but which month?
September.
Interesting, because Crimea was annexed in February of that year.
What?
And it was Crimea sorry, I've just got why have I just forgotten the country right now? Sorry guys. I took some morphine earlier on. Ukraine. I know, I just forgot the country of Ukraine. Apologies. It's the effects of my medication sometimes. So anyway.
Morphine? Did you just say morphine?
Yeah. A full disclosure, idiopathic recurrent acute pancreatitis. Anyways, yeah, when I have an attack, I've got to take morphine. And if that don't work, I've got to go in a hospital. So yeah. But anyways, yeah, it's one of the effects of, you know, because I've been using it for years now. Sometimes it turns my brain to mush and I have, like, as I call them, brain farts. And my mind just goes blank when I try and think of a word or anything. It's a thing.
Yeah,
but anyway.
that was in September. That was in September 2014.
Yeah. So this is the thing, right? You've got
February 2014. Right, Rain is saying it was February 2014, but it was released in September 2014.
Okay, so this was at the time that Russia annexed Crimea from Ukraine. And if you also remember then at the Oscars, you had everyone then saying, we support Ukraine, we support Ukraine. It was the year that it was the frontman of 30 Seconds to Mars, Jared Leto. He won the Oscar for Dallas Buyers Club. And he made a very famous speech when he won his Oscar saying, you know, we stand by Ukraine, this, that, and the other. I don't think it is a coincidence that that same year that Crimea is annexed from Ukraine by Russia, and all of A-list Hollywood is like, right, we support Ukraine, that Megxi goes to a Ukraine university.
Yeah, it was a Skype conversation. It was a Skype conversation.
By Skype. I was going to say by Skype.
Yeah.
To do that. Because why? Why? Because looking at Megxi's history, I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong, Tom, but she's had no historical ties to Ukraine before. why all of a sudden is she showing up on a video call to a Ukraine university? It would make more sense for her to show up on a video call, let's say, to an American or even a Canadian university, because she was shooting suits in Canada and she was based there for a little while. Seems like she was trying to get political points and, again, clout points by showing up in Ukraine and saying that she did her bet, this, that, and the other, right?
Yeah, and she reached out to them. It wasn't them that reached out to her. She reached out to them, and she was talking how her main thing was being how she's been political all her life, how she managed to change, how she spoke Spanish, how she worked at the Argentinian embassy, Tom, how she spoke Argentinian. I've said this many times. Argentinian is not a language. You either speak Spanish or you don't, It's like, you don't speak Texan, do you, Tom?
Texan?
Yeah.
Only when I'm drunk.
No, I mean, you know what I mean. She tries to make it sound like Argentinian. It's a language separate than Spanish. It's not. I mean, you have different accents, from Florida, Texas, Georgia. We have lovely Steph here with a very beautiful accent, Tom, you have an accent. So, but in that video, she made a point to say that she probably shouldn't be saying this, but she was working for the Clinton campaign. And she had always been political. I'll send you that because I'm sure your father hasn't seen that either. So I'll send it to you.
You see little things here and there about she wants to run for governor of California. She wants to run for president. And wow.
You didn't know this, huh?
Yeah, no. Fat chance, though. You have to actually have a decent brain and be a good person to run for any kind of office, I believe.
The thing is, though, let me be 100 on this, because I'm very much like, straight shooter. I don't think she outed the Clinton campaign.
No, she didn't, my friend.
She didn't. Hillary Clinton, it was rumored for years that she was going to run. It was rumored for years. And then the lead up to the presidential primaries with the DNC, it was rumored more and more and more. Hillary Clinton was becoming more visible in politics again. So when she actually officially announced her run in the DNC primaries, no one was surprised. No one was surprised. And within the political arena, everyone knows that Hillary Clinton loves power and that she always had aspirations to become the first female president of the United States anyway. So for Megsy to turn around and saying that she's working on behalf or working for, let's say, the Clinton campaign a year before it was officially announced, everyone knew she was going to run anyway and it was going to be announced. It's not like a campaign is just created from thin air and then the next day you announce it. There is a lot of preparation, sometimes years of preparation to lead up to officially announcing it and then running. And so, it was well underway, the Clinton presidency run, even a year before it was officially announced.
Tom, you know that when I send you the video, you will see it. She keeps claiming that she's always been political all her life and that she always had political ambitions and actually that politics is her main goal. And then you would think that your father would know or people around her would know, or, because she gives the impression that she's this source of power for political change and everything like that. This is in 2014. Clearly, you guys knew nothing about this, and she wasn't that political when you guys were around her. Your father had said that even when he was asked, "Do you think she'll run for president?" Your father laughed.
Yeah, like I said, being involved in her daily life was just, at that point, when she was already gone off to school and everything, it just. She was at Northwestern. Was it? Yeah. And then, or Toronto. I don't know. But.
It's funny because she said that you guys were distant relatives because she wasn't in close proximity. So what was Doria? Because it is that now we know that at age 9, Doria dumped her completely off on your father's lap. And basically she'd gone AWOL. So that means that Doria was also a distant relative, if we go by what she said. I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, it's a good possibility she was abducted by aliens and when she was missing for that long. So nobody knows.
That's actually pretty awful. I'm
Maybe.
I don't even, I mean, what do you think, Steph, of all this situation that the Markle family has found themselves in? And how long do you think this will continue? Do you think this will continue? Or do you think it'll eventually?
At some point, the kids are going to grow up and they're going to be looking for answers. They're going to have access to the internet. They're going to look up their family. And Meghan's going to have a lot of questions to answer because she's going to see from like the beginning to the end of everything that happened. The kids are definitely going to want to know.
Well, we'll hope so, right? Because you remember that Harry is very much invested with the Aspen Institute, that they're trying to shut down, they're trying to censor YouTube and free speech and mainstream media and stuff like that. Harry is very well involved in all of that.
They're trying to censor YouTube?
Yes.
They must not like my videos.
Trying is the operative word because it's not going to happen. This is the thing.
It's all because of you, Tom, because of those videos that
you. Thomas Markle Jr. and friends. That's right.
Do you think Meghan watches your videos, Tom? Honestly.
I hope she does. I
think she wouldn't be able to help herself,
I bet the royal family sits around and watches it and has a really good time.
That birthday video that you did, that was so funny. I was laughing. I mean, that was really funny. I mean,
I did one for 41 also.
Oh, you did? I'm going to have to go back and look at it.
Yeah,
so you did one for 41.
Yeah, there's like almost 40 videos out. Yeah, I did one for 41 and I wouldn't miss a birthday. You know me.
Yes, of course. Are you still in touch with people? I mean, has Doria ever tried to reach out to you guys? Because I remember that there was some time somebody put out that Doria was the go-between you guys, and Doria was trying to talk to your father and tell him that things were going to be okay or something like that. Has that ever been the case?
I have no idea what's up with Doria.
So she's a complete alien to you guys, isn't she?
I haven't talked to Doria since I think I ran into her at the market on Sunset and PCH. Probably, 2011 or something like that. 12, maybe 13. Last time I saw her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I hope that answered all of your guys' questions about what if it's talk to her or not. I mean, people think that you guys kept in touch with her or that you were close with her or anything like that. It was a very short marriage. Then they got divorced. You guys were grown-ups. You were doing your own thing, just like Meghan did her own thing. She went to Northwestern, went to Canada.
I remember like you could be sitting in a room and Doria would walk in and it would get really, really cold and you could see your breath. But that's really about it.
Well, you know what? Thanks so much, Tom, for answering all the questions. Thanks to Steph. Steph, you have Tom's details to have him over to your channel. We need to spread his message. We need to let people understand what's going on, what the real thing is.
I want 100,000 subscribers. It's not fair.
Yes,
we should get you 100,000.
We'll get you to 100,000 subscribers, Tom. We'll get you there. So you have to go subscribe to his channel. It's free. It's fun. And let's show him support and everything. And we'll get you there. We'll get you out there completely. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm gonna start promoting the hell out of your channel. If you want us over for a live in your channel, Pete, Dinah, all of us will be more than happy to pop by and say hello.
I promise I won't take any extended breaks anymore because sometimes I wasn't doing a video for like a month or things happen or whatever. You get busy and life happens, but I'll religiously start doing 1 or 2 a week.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. But we'll send you the subscribers. And if you want to have us over for things, we'll have you for more lives. Stephanie wants to have you over on her channel. She's very, very entertaining. I'll send you that link of Meghan's Ukraine thing so you can laugh a lot about it because the things that she says I'm sure your father hasn't heard this one, so you can watch it first. before you
Yeah.
show it to your father, you know. But thanks for coming here. Thanks to Steph the Alternator, to Miss P. Dinah. Go subscribe to Steph the Alternator channel, to Thomas, the real Thomas Markle Jr. and friends. We need to get him to 100,000. All of us need to get to 100,000 subscribers, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, Tom, we're gonna keep spreading your word. Anything you need, just send us a shout and we'll get it going. We'll get it up there for you. Okay.
Okay.
And give our love to your father. I hope he's getting better.
Yep. Absolutely.
And you should do a video about Doria and the Kardashians. Apparently now you're gonna be buddies with the Kardashians, since you know, I think you're a lord or something like that. Yeah, since you're the brother of a duchess.
I should be. Yeah, I should be. You know, where's my title? Like I said, I just want my 50 acres and my sheep, and I'll be good.
I think you can buy a title. Isn't there a place Steph, where you can actually go buy a title in Scotland or something like that?
Yeah.
You know, that sure would be nice if Charles would find it in his heart somewhere to like knight my father.
Yeah, after what your father's been through.
Yeah.
Yeah, he deserves an earldom at the very least.
Yeah.
You
You know, and you know, hint, Charles. I mean, if you're listening and if you ever watch this, what a way to retaliate.
Oh, wicked,
Yeah.
wicked, wicked, wicked. But
Sir
Tom,
Thomas Markle Jr.
yes, but thanks for being here. And we're gonna go to your channel. If you should start doing lives too, so we can talk to you. You know, so you should start doing lives as well, and we can come and help you, you know, just on your own, and we'll direct people to your channel, because in order for people to come and promote it, you need to be out there with us, and we'll help you out with that, Tom. Of course.
Yeah, I was going to look into that on you know, on my new desktop, so I'm almost there.
Yeah, just set it up with through StreamYard, and if you need help, you can always contact Steph. She's a genius.
Okay.
But I don't use StreamYard. I use OBS Studio. So.
Oh my God, that's it. No, I don't.
I can show you that.
That's really complicated. That's really complicated. I'm
not. Don't scare him. Once
I'm using StreamYard. I just learned how to share on StreamYard 2 days ago. So I'm struggling with that, and I can't. Steph, you're a young pup. I am 54. Thomas, how old are you? 56 or something?
Yep.
Dude, I'm not that young. I'm 37, like in a month and a half.
Oh God, yeah.
Shut up! I swear. Sometimes I just want to smack her. Yeah, shut up. For that in internet years, that's centuries, because for internet is moving so fast. You know, I hate it. Right, Tom? Tom knows what we're talking about. You don't know.
I'll be 57 next month. 17th.
Oh, yeah, September. Which day?
17th.
September. Oh, we're gonna do a live with Thomas for his birthday. We're gonna have crowns and booze and stuff like that. So that should be fun. You know, you should hold it on your channel. So you definitely need to learn how to do that. Okay. And we'll be sending you people there. And thank you very much for joining us, and have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Thanks.
All right, guys.
Steph the Alternator and Thomas Markle Jr. channel.
Bye, Steph. Bye, Paula.
Bye, Tom.
Bye, sweetie.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Yay.